And the discipline is in killing niches that fail any one filter, even if you
primary modes. Build in public. Document the journey out loud.
set the floor at 90 days. Below that floor, and you're judging the play.
Public experiments. I tried X for 30 days. Here is what happened.
Man before you disagree. The discipline that separates compounding trust operators.
1,000 subscribers by month 6 is the working target.
Trust Moat takes 18 months to build and one bad sponsorship to lose.
Traps. Trying to be likable instead of memorable.
In 1850, an American showman paid an opera singer he had never met $150,000 to sing in America, about $6 million in today's money. He spent another $20,000 on advertising before she stepped off the boat. By the time she opened in New York, thousands of tickets had already sold. The move, pre-selling the audience before the asset arrived, is the personality brand engine, 175 years before anyone called it that. That's the show. The Old Money Playbook. Links in the description. This week, play 7 of 7. The pattern's 175 years old. The platforms are 18 months old. He bought the American Museum on Broadway in 1841 with $15,000 he didn't have, and sold tickets to roughly 500,000 New Yorkers a year through it for the next 24 years. He wrote his autobiography in 1855. It sold 1 million copies and became the most read book in 19th century America after the Bible. He died worth around $10 million. P.T. Barnum.
I started in Bethel, Connecticut, selling lottery tickets at 15. By 25, I owned a small newspaper and had been jailed for 60 days for libel. That was the early lesson on what attention costs. In 1841, I bought the American Museum on Broadway, $15,000 on credit, and inside 10 years was selling 500,000 tickets a year. The lesson, which took me a long time to articulate, was that the public would pay to see a thing if you told them, with sufficient specificity, what they were going to feel walking through the door. Not what it was going to feel like. The advertising was the asset. The exhibits backed it up. They had to.
So someone listening to this tonight wants to build a personality brand around their work. They've got a couple of months of free time. Maybe they've already started a Twitter account with 3 followers, a half-finished YouTube video sitting in drafts. What do you tell them?
3 decisions, made before any content goes out. Most operators who fail at month 2 collapse all 3 into a single continuous question: what should I post about today? The decisions are structural. They are locked once. Then the daily work becomes mechanical execution against the locked decisions, not strategy.
3 decisions. Walk me through them.
The first is the niche. Not entrepreneurship in general. That lane is saturated past usefulness. Every word in it disappears in feed clutter. A tight angle within a domain. Indie SaaS for solo founders. Marketing for service businesses under $1 million in revenue. Finance for technology employees. 4 filters define whether a niche is workable. You can be public in this niche under your own name. You hold one strong perspective that contradicts the conventional wisdom. The audience for this niche follows people, not just topics. And the monetization paths exist: info products, courses, sponsorships, consulting, affiliate. All 4. If anyone fails, the niche is wrong, and no amount of consistent posting fixes it.
Operator consensus heuristic, not a tested benchmark, but the 4 filters mean a niche either passes the gate or doesn't before any content runs. And the discipline is in killing niches that fail any one filter, even if you like the top.
The second is the angle. 4 primary modes. Build in public. Document the journey out loud. Share numbers. Share failures. Peter Levels and the indie hacker community shape, best for technology-leaning niches. Contrarian take. Defend an unpopular position with rigor. Best for niches with stale conventional wisdom, finance, fitness, productivity. Stunt or challenge. Public commitments with deadlines. I will ship 30 things in 30 days. 0 to 10,000 subscribers in 90 days. Drives suspense and future content. And behind-the-scenes operator, show how you specifically work. Tactics, daily routine, decision frameworks. Less spicy, more sustainable. Pick one as primary. Layer the secondaries only after the primary works.
Pick one. That's the discipline rule. Most operators try all four in week one and produce four shapes of content that don't compound on each other. The locked angle is what lets the back catalog become a portfolio rather than a scrapbook.
And the third decision, pick one platform first. Twitter or X for business, marketing, finance, building in public. The reply economy is the weapon, the production cost per post is the lowest. LinkedIn for professional services and career niches. Long-form text dominates there. YouTube for education and deep dives. Slowest to grow, highest lifetime value per subscriber. TikTok for entertainment-leaning niches and younger audiences. Daily volume required. Instagram for visual niches. Fitness, food, design, lifestyle. Don't multi-platform from day one. Build 1 to 10,000 followers, then expand. Each platform has its own algorithmic logic. Splitting attention across day one slows all of them.
So the structural picture is niche times angle times platform locked together before day one of posting. The "what should I post about today" question becomes execute the locked decisions, not a daily strategy choice.
Execute the locked decisions. 90 days minimum. Then you judge. Earlier than that, and you are evaluating the play before the algorithm has finished warming up to you, which is its own beat in this episode.
So once the three decisions are locked, what does the content engine actually look like? A lot of beginner advice is post once a day, see what works.
90 days minimum. Daily output. On Twitter, 3 to 5 posts a day plus one thread a week. On LinkedIn, one long-form post per day, 4 to 6 days a week. On YouTube, 1 to 2 long-form videos a week, 12 minutes or longer if you want advertising density. On TikTok, 1 to 3 videos per day. The algorithmic warm-up period is real. Most operators quit at week 4. The metrics look flat, they decide the niche is wrong. The follower growth inflection lands in month 2, not month 1. Quitting at week 4 evaluates the play before the algorithm has finished warming.
Platform warm-up observed across operator retrospectives. Not a single source benchmark, but documented enough across creator economy operator content to set the floor at 90 days. Below that floor, and you're judging the play on noise.
And the quality bar on top of the cadence. 3 filters per post.
What are the 3?
Opinionated. Specific. Defensible. Every post defends a position. The writer holds a take, not a balanced survey. Every post names a concrete number, a real example, a specific named entity, never generic 5 tips for X content. And every post is one the writer can argue in 5 paragraphs without retreating from the headline. Posts that fail any of the 3 filters belong in drafts. The 3 filters are a daily check, not an aspirational standard. The work is not authentic versus corporate. It is opinionated versus flat, specific versus generic, defensible versus fragile.
And the voice rule on top of the filters.
Write to a smart friend who does not know your niche. The friend is intelligent, paying attention, and would not tolerate 3 buzzwords stacked in a row. The conversational register is what makes personality read as personality. The corporate register makes everyone read identically, regardless of who is writing. Write to her as the only reader, and the audience finds you. Write to the audience, and the audience does not.
So at week 5, when the engine is rolling and the algorithm has warmed up, that's when the spectacle layer comes in. What does the spectacle layer actually look like?
5 tactics. Public experiments. I tried X for 30 days. Here is what happened, with the documented results attached. Bold predictions. Make a specific dated forecast in your niche. Becomes evergreen content if it ages well. Becomes reshareable when the prediction lands. Public commitments. I will ship X by date Y. Creates accountability, suspense, and future content in one move. Behind-the-scenes transparency. Revenue numbers, failures, your stack, your daily routine. Operators reward this disproportionately. And reaction content. Respond to other niche figures with sharper analysis or with steel-manned counter-arguments.
Right. So today, that's basically the playbook every personality brand operator I respect runs. And it works. But there's a discipline rule sitting on top of it that everyone who fails skips. You wrote a book about it.
I wrote The Humbugs of the World in 1865. I drew the line in it. Humbug is spectacle around a real thing. The underlying article is genuine, the marketing is engineered. The audience knows they are being marketed to and pays anyway because the thing they walk in to see is real. Fraud is spectacle around fabrication. The marketing wraps a hollow article. The audience eventually finds out. The reputation does not recover. I lost mine for a decade after Joyce Heth in 1835. I rebuilt it with Jenny Lind because Jenny Lind could actually sing. Every spectacle must have a real thing behind it. The discipline was the same in 1865 and remains the same in 2026.
Humbug builds reputation, fraud burns it. So the modern personality brand operator who takes a contrarian position they don't actually believe is running the fraud play, regardless of how the engagement metrics look in the first month. The trust collapse arrives at month 9, not month 1.
And reaction content carries a specific failure mode worth naming. Cheap reactions, gotcha takedowns, bad faith straw manning, gleeful pile-ons degrade trust faster than they grow following. The discipline is steel manning the counterposition before disagreeing. Operators who reliably steel man earn outsized reputational compounding because the audience can see they are arguing the position rather than the person. The ones who do not steel man earn the engagement spike on Tuesday and pay it back at month 9 in trust collapse. Preview.
Steel man before you disagree. The discipline that separates compounding trust operators from churn and burn engagement bait. And then at week 8 onwards, the audience compounds. Twitter follower count climbs. LinkedIn impressions tick up. The play shifts to converting that attention into something durable. What does that look like?
Email. Every platform, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, can deplatform you in a single day. Every platform can shift its algorithm in one update and erase 6 months of compounding. The list is the only audience you actually own. The conversion from platform attention to owned email is not a phase that comes later after the brand is established. It is parallel work that runs from week 8 onwards alongside the content engine.
And the conversion lever, most beginner advice is put a newsletter sign up in your bio. That converts at 0.5% of platform traffic. Generous. The angle-tied lead magnet, a free guide, a template, a playbook tied directly to the locked angle from the first decision converts at 5 to 15%. The structural difference is whether the call to action is generic or angle anchored. A subscribe to my newsletter call to action ignores the angle entirely. The lead magnet is the angle delivered as an asset.
5,000 subscribers by month 6 is the working target. Below 1,000 at month 6, the angle from the locked decisions is not working. Repackage before continuing. The number is operator consensus across creator economy retrospectives, not a tested benchmark, but the failure signal is concrete. Most beginner content gives no failure signal at all. The 5,000 target gives a stop or continue rule that can survive a flat month 3.
On infrastructure, what platform handles the list?
If I were running this in 2026, and I would, the email layer is KIT, Creator-First Segmentation. The sponsorship network compounds list growth from other operators in your niche, which becomes load-bearing later in this conversation. $25 a month at the entry tier. The list is what survives the platform shifts. The platforms rent attention. The list is what you own.
oldmoneyplaybook.com/kit. If you want it, they've got a free tier that handles the first 1,000 subscribers without payment. The segmentation tooling is what makes the upgrade worth paying for once you cross that threshold.
And the first launch. The structure depends on audience size. Below 2,000 on the list, info product, a Notion template, a playbook, a swipe file. $27 to $97, low risk, validates demand. 2,000 to 5,000 on the list, course or cohort. $297 to $997. The audience is large enough to justify the polished offer. $5,000 and above, high-ticket coaching or consulting. $2,000 to $10,000 per engagement, gated by an application form. Highest lifetime value per customer.
So the launch tier is structural. The audience size determines the price band, not the operator's confidence level. Most beginner content treats pricing as a self-image question. The matrix collapses it to a structural one.
And the launch mechanism itself. Share the build publicly. Bring the audience along during the construction. Pre-sell during the build. Drop on a specific date. The publicity becomes the attention multiplier. The same structural shape as bringing a circus to town. The crowd watches the tents go up. The ticket sales begin before the show opens. The opening day is a confirmation, not an announcement.
First launch is calibration, not capstone. You set the price floor, the customer profile, the future product roadmap. You iterate from there. At month 6 and beyond, combined 10,000 followers across the platform plus 5,000 on the email list, that's where the monetization layer changes shape.
3 streams compounding asymmetrically. Launches, the products, courses, coaching from the previous segment of work. Sponsorships, $500 to $5,000 per integrated post is the working band on the platform side, depending on audience size and niche. Newsletter ads sit in the 50 to 150 CPM range, observable rates on paved.com and Swapstack, or direct outreach for the higher conversation deals. And affiliate placements. Every tool you recommend in posts and emails carries an affiliate link. The back catalog of every prior post earns continuously.
Affiliate is the under-discussed compounding stream. No single post earns much. The catalog at month 12 is generating a passive base regardless of whether the operator is actively posting that month. A 12-month back catalog with affiliate links in every recommendation rinse continuously.
Defensible compounding mechanic. The yield varies materially with niche and traffic. Frame the affiliate stream as a base, not a guaranteed amount. The math is compounds passively, not earns X dollars per month. The discipline is honesty about the variance.
And the third stream? Speaking. Niche conferences and your own paid events.
Niche conference appearances pay in the $1,000 to $10,000 band, typically year 2 or later, once the public reputation has been built. Or run your own paid event. Tickets in the $200 to $2,000 range, sold to the audience the operator already owns. The own event path is a circus the operator produces himself. The tents go up, the audience already trusts the name on the ticket.
In the discipline rule on sponsorships, same shape as the discipline rule on contrarian takes. Don't sell sponsorship slots that conflict with stated values. The trust moat takes 18 months to build and 1 bad sponsorship to lose. Better to leave the money on the table than dilute the asset the brand was building.
5 traps. Trying to be likable instead of memorable. Safe content disappears in the feed clutter. The audience cannot remember the writer's name on Friday because no individual post stood out on Tuesday. Inconsistent posting. The algorithms penalize gaps. The 90-day floor is non-negotiable. Launching too late. The first product is a discovery tool, not a polished offering. Ship it at the ugly first version stage. Not building email early. Platform-only audience is rented. One algorithm shift erases the asset. And selling out values for early sponsorship kills the moat the brand was building.
And the cash flow shape. Months 1 to 3 are the valley of death. Tools cost $50 to $200 a month. That's the real expense floor, and most personality brand operators quit before they're past it. Months 4 to 6, the first launch lands. Month 7 onwards, the streams begin compounding. Where it gets to from there is a function of the niche, the audience, the execution. Results are results. The strategy is the strategy.
And at month 24, the brand itself becomes the asset. 25 to 40 times monthly revenue at exit on the documented creator brand acquisition multiples. The structural shift from running a personality brand to owning one. The brand is what the buyer pays for. The audience compounds underneath. The streams pay the operator until the operator chooses to exit, and the multiple at exit pays for whatever comes next.
The brand is the asset. The streams compound the value. The audience underneath is the durable thing. If you had to leave the operator listening with one line, what is it?
Spectacle was always the cheap part. Conviction is what survived.
Right. 7 plays, 7 modern tactics, free. Links in the description. Next time, Henry Ford on industrializing the agency. See you then.